Bondi Beach, a Sunday evening in early summer. In the span of just a few minutes, a celebration of faith turned into the deadliest mass shooting Australia has seen in nearly 30 years. Today, we are stepping inside the timeline, mapping the environment, and using 3D reconstruction to understand exactly how the terror at Archer Park unfolded. This is Archer Park. It sits on the northern end of Bondi Beach, sandwiched between the sand and the main arterial road, Campbell Parade. Usually it's a quiet patch of grass used by backpackers and dog walkers. But on Sunday, December 14th, 2025, it was the site of a religious celebration. Over 1,000 people had gathered here for the first night of Hanukkah. The layout of the event was dense, centered around a stage and a large menorah here. To the north, directly overlooking the crowd, is the Bondi Pavilion car park and a connecting pedestrian footbridge. This bridge is crucial. It provides a 4-meter elevation advantage and a completely unobstructed line of sight into the park below. At approximately 6:30 p.m., a vehicle carrying 2 men enters the northern car park. The men are Sajid Akram, 50, and his son, Naveed Akram, 24. They park here, less than 200 meters from the crowd. They exit the vehicle carrying high-powered rifles. A young couple returning to their car spots the weapons. They do not run. Instead, they confront the men, physically trying to stop them before they can reach the bridge. The father, Sajid, ends it. He raises his weapon. He fires. Both individuals are shot at point-blank range. The gunfire alerts nearby pedestrians, but the attackers move quickly. They position themselves here, at the apex of the bridge. From this spot, the distance to the center of the crowd is roughly 80 meters. It is close enough that accuracy is high, but far enough that the crowd cannot immediately identify the source of the noise. At 6:45 p.m., the shots continue. They fire indiscriminately into the density of the crowd. Because the shooters were 4 meters above ground level, the safe zones behind the stage were negated. A standard barrier provides cover from a ground-level threat, but from an elevated angle, it offers zero protection. Rapid between 6:45 and 6:48 p.m., the local cell tower grid registers a massive spike in traffic. Emergency services receive over 400 calls in 3 minutes. This fog of war complicates the initial dispatch, but the sound of rapid gunfire in the background of these calls confirms the worst: an active shooter situation. In 10 minutes of sustained fire, 15 people are killed.
I just started running up Hall Street with the dog. No one knew what was going on. No one knew how many shooters there were. So, this shouldn't happen in Australia. It shouldn't happen.
While the father, Sajid, remains in position on the bridge, the younger gunman, Naveed, moves. He descends or positions himself near the tree line at the edge of the park, perhaps to close the distance. This tactical error exposes him. Ahmed Al-Ahmed, a 43-year-old fruit shop owner, is nearby. While others flee, Al-Ahmed spots the younger gunman near a parked car in a tree. He waits for a lull in the firing. In a moment of extreme risk, Al-Ahmed charges the gunman. Video analysis shows him tackling Naveed Akram. This action likely prevented dozens more fatalities. Officers from the Eastern Suburbs Command arrive on Campbell Parade. They are immediately engaged by the father, Sajid, who is still elevated on the footbridge. After a brief but intense exchange, Sajid Akram is fatally struck by police fire and falls here on the walkway. Naveed Akram, battered from the struggle with the bystander and suffering gunshot wounds, is taken into custody at the scene. By 7 p.m., the shooting stops. The silence that follows is heavy. Archer Park transforms into a triage center. Paramedics, initially unable to enter the hot zone due to safety protocols, rely on civilians and off-duty doctors. The beach promenade, usually a place of leisure, becomes a casualty collection point. The entire incident lasted less than 15 minutes. In that time, the psychology of Australia changed. The location was not random. The date was not random. By choosing a high-visibility, open-air religious celebration, the attackers exploited the very openness that defines Australian life. But by charging a gunman with his bare hands, a bystander proved that even in the face of calculated terror, the human variable remains unpredictable.